So today we're back with a very tasty episode of Freaky Eaters. And here we have Danny Boy, the man who is literally addicted to eating raw meat. And that's meat of all kinds, people. I'm talking that select shoulder cut, some steak, some ground beef, and even raw fucking chicken. It's fucking raw. And this guy seriously is looking like Justin Trudeau's little brother out here. And he just disregards all the risks of what he's doing by eating this raw meat. And it's really starting to bother people because he's literally consuming it by the pound. And he's been eating like this for the last 6 years. Like, he just pulls the raw meat right out of the package and he eats that shit up like a fruit roll-up. And he always goes for the cheap cuts of meat in the deli. He gets something called the manager's special, which pretty much means you're getting the cheapest, oldest meat in the whole market. I don't see what could go wrong here.
I'm really concerned that Daniel doesn't care that one day this could lead to death.
It's absolutely worth it to eat raw meat, even though there's consequences. Consequences are minor. I like to pull it, I like to see the muscles. There's no real reason behind it besides I like the taste and texture. It's like butter.
And he even laughs at the idea of getting sick from eating raw meat. And apparently this guy has a history of not only eating raw stuff, but just being a weird motherfucker in general. As a kid, he was eating biscuit dough, pancake batter, and even writing poems. Listen, I'm not trying to talk down on kids that like to write poems or say that one day their job is going to be that they're an author, but in my experience, 8 out of 9 times those kids definitely had some school shooter vibes going on.
And I feel like I'm kind of unique and different from other people.
So yeah, this guy's pretty much always just been the black sheep of the family. He has a degree in liberal arts, he goes to poetry slams, and this all while his brother followed in his father and his grandfather's footsteps and joined the military, kind of becoming the golden child of the family. And it seems like Daniel was always just screaming for attention because his family saw him as such a letdown. I mean, even when this guy got a good paying government job and started making his family actually happy, he decided to quit because it was just too much for him and it wasn't anything like what he truly wanted to do. And so now he's here doing this shit.
Once he left the strict confines of his parents' house, Daniel began experimenting with more raw foods.
Moment. One of those quiet things where you do it on your own and you're like, wow, this was nice.
Damn, Danny, if I didn't know any better, I would think you were just choking the old chicken right there. And his brother Brian is definitely not too fond of his eating habits either.
I like bargains, and I always look for the cheapest cut.
I don't think he does any type of preparation to it, washing it whatsoever.
Geez, this guy seems like some type of real life fucking vampire. I can't believe that he doesn't even wash this shit off. Like, even when I get fresh fruit from the market, I wash my shit off with soap. Ain't no foreign disease gonna take my ass down. And I don't know how he's been doing this for 6 whole years. Like, this guy is straight up just over here eating raw flesh and shit. And by the way, if you're working out in a place where children are supposed to play, you're a straight up tool.
Daniel disregards any health advice he gets regarding the raw meat that he consumes.
Some products may contain bacteria that could cause illness if the product is cooked improperly, or whatever. I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I just really don't want my brother to end up dying from that one bad piece of meat.
I know there's an age joke in here somewhere, but I'm just gonna save it. And so then they have to call in our 2 favorite food experts. And basically his brother Brian is just very concerned with Daniel's health at this point, and he's worried about any possible illness that he could get from eating all this raw fucking meat. So they just straight up go into the gym while this guy is working out. They interrupt him mid-set.
Dude, what's going on?
The reason these people are here is because I called them about how you like to eat raw meat.
Oh, okay, but I don't think I need help.
I like how they're all just standing there trying to intimidate this guy. Dr. Dow coming through with the slacks. I mean, his brother is standing back there like Mark Wahlberg in 4 Brothers or some shit. Dumb and Dumber looking ass.
You're making a joke of all of this that could kill you. What's up with that?
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Driving's more dangerous, I think.
Well, you know, things are a decision. You wouldn't drive on the wrong side of the street.
No.
Damn, I gotta be honest, I'm really starting to love this lady. Like, she is always coming in hot with the facts.
Would you be willing to come with us so we can show you a few things and possibly change your mind?
All right, but you got a big chore ahead of you, I'll just say that.
And who does this guy think he is? Like, I wish literally no one cared about him so he could just die from a disease already. It's what his little pussy ass deserves.
My name is Dr. Mike Carragher. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician. Raw beef is covered with microscopic organisms, viruses, as well as parasites. They're not visible to the human eye, but nonetheless, they're there.
First sign of eating a parasite or a virus or a bacteria could be death, and it's not a nice death.
I haven't died yet.
So yeah, even in the face of a doctor, this guy is still not buying that his meat might be contaminated. So they decide to test some ground beef that comes straight out of his refrigerator. And so when they test this meat, big surprise, it tests positive for E. coli.
So that's positive E. coli on the ground beef from your refrigerator, living on your chopped meat.
Is there such a thing as the body building up immunity?
No. Actually, you're putting yourself at higher risk for disease the more raw meat that you eat.
And after seeing this, they're like, well, now we have to take a little piece of your shit and we gotta send it off to Dexter's laboratory. Dee! Fuck out the way.
Tell me about your dad.
He's authoritative. He's a military man, just like my grandpa was also a military man.
How was that for you growing up, or when you realized that you did not want to go on that path?
I still feel kind of disappointed.
It sounds like you really have this need of wanting to figure out who you are, and you want to actually live the life that is Daniel, not anybody else.
Confucius says, you must live the life that is Daniel.
What did you need from your dad that you didn't get?
More support for self-exploration, more support of the arts.
And so this all comes back to daddy problems, huh? It's very interesting how some people act when they feel like they don't get the attention or maybe the recognition that they rightly deserve. So yeah, daddy's the one who caused all his bad habits. And now they continue with his test results.
You ready?
Yes. I have no idea what's going on, but in the back of my mind, I'm kind of digging in for another fight.
You do have a parasite.
Just the word parasites is kind of strong, you know, and it stood out there.
I mean, look at this guy. He looks like a man whose life has fallen apart. And I don't know why this guy is so surprised when he's been eating the equivalent of roadkill every day for the last 6 years.
We're not sure whether it is something that's, attaching into your small intestinal wall and actually causing problems. One more thing that's of interest on this test, rotting protein that hasn't digested sitting in your gut. You'll probably start gaining fat more and more because that's a definite thing that it does.
I know it makes me seem shallow, but that is an important part of the argument about the fat and all that. I want to be a god on earth.
Jeez, this guy has such a punchable face. Like one right hook to that big ass nose and it'd be lights out for this big bitch. And the big turning point, it didn't even come when she told him that he had a parasite in his body. It didn't come when she told him that the meat had E. coli on it. But it came when she told him that if he kept eating raw meat, he was basically gonna be a fat ass with some clogged arteries. And that tummy tuck was enough to get this man motivated.
Determined to take control of his own life and forget the expectations of his family, Daniel has agreed to give up his dangerous raw meat habit.
There's a very simple fix to Daniel's problem. He just needs to cook his food.
And so Daniel actually ends up changing his whole life. Like he has a new exercise routine. Jesus Christ, looks like the parasite is taking over this motherfucker right now with that running form.
3 full days without raw meat, Daniel is already noticing a physical difference.
What's making me stay strong is looking in the mirror at my stomach and watching it get flatter.
They even got this man doing charity work. Like, damn, I gotta say it's a good job for this guy. And after 5 days, when he's handling some raw meat, he almost cracks, but you know what? He ends up cooking that shit. Let's go, Danny boy! I'm proud of this freak. And then they just end up playing this really random game of paintball to try to connect the two brothers.
Hey JJ, how can we incorporate the whole army brother thing?
About a school shooting protection?
Paintball. What about paintball?
Yeah, that's good. Do you think one of them might cry? We need those ratings.
And apparently they're playing paintball against professionals and they somehow catch the W. It's kind of like when they let the special ed kid score a touchdown. I mean, my dude Dr. Chow was carrying the squad over here, son. And then he just gets to enjoy a nice cooked steak with his brother.
How's the food?
Hey, Dr. Dowd. The best fact is I'm sharing it with my brother here, not necessarily the meat.
He's like, damn, Dr. Chow, can you get off my fucking dick, bro? Can we get some seasoning in this bitch? Jesus Christ. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I like how in these shows, the food experts really come in and it seems like they really do a good job of attacking them, not only physically, but psychologically. I like this episode. I'm glad that the guy is getting better. He seemed like an okay type of dude. Got a lot of shit to do being the Prime Minister of Canada and whatnot. But I really want to thank you guys for watching. If you did make it to this point in the video, please leave a big like if you like the video. And please subscribe today if you're not. Yeah, got a lot of stuff coming. Peace out, guys.